Cooking with Kris. Here I have our very special guest, Val Jardin.
Hi! Alright, so today we are talking about, we're going to make spaghetti sauce like my grandmother. So I have the ingredients here and ready to go. So we start with the big can of tomato sauce. Mine is 29 ounces, but anything over 25 ounces could suffice. In it will go 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of basil, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 large bay leaf. So the main process to making the sauce is we are going to put the sauce into like a saucepan and start to heat it up over medium heat on the stove. We'll gradually add in the spices, stir them in, and then it's going to spend a lot of time just simmering at a low temperature, because the fun thing about pasta is the longer that it sits and cooks over medium heat, it'll get thicker and thicker, so that's how you make thicker sauces. We're just going to have it with some angel hair pasta right here. American Beauty is my personal favorite, so we'll be having some of that too.
We are both in Tau Beta Sigma, and we both do band. And since Val is our special guest, she has the spotlight.
Tau Beta is awesome, and I'm really excited to do this cooking show with Kris and get to teach you all about Tau Beta and cooking my grandma's special sauce. So here we just have a medium saucepan. So here I have the can opener and my sauce. Being careful not to spill it, because I've unfortunately spilled tomato sauce on myself too many times to count. Into the saucepan as such. So let's see. I went to Pleasant Ridge Elementary School with Mr. Smeichel, and we had one of those days where you try out all the instruments, and I was terrible, of course, at all the ones I wanted to play. I wanted to play the trumpet because I thought it was only 3 notes. That is not the case. So I eventually played the clarinet when we went around, and my band director was like, "That's the one that you should play." And I was like, "Okay, perfect." So I played that for a year, and then I switched to the alto sax in my 6th grade year. But all of my sisters played instruments, and my dad played the trombone, so I just kind of was accepted that we were gonna do it and do marching band and all of that. But yeah, I don't know why I switched from clarinet. I wasn't very good at the clarinet, but I think I'm a little bit better at alto sax, but I really liked it, and I think it's been probably one of my best decisions, that's for sure. I do have the first step of adding the sugar, 1 tablespoon. So there's that. My mom is 98% Italian. She did that Ancestry.com thing. She thought she was 100, but she's only 98%. So I'm half Italian. So we eat a lot of spaghetti, especially this spaghetti sauce. But I want to get tested one day, because I'm kind of wondering what my dad is, because he's I'm European and French of some sort, but I do not know what. So, but it explains why I'm really loud, because Italians are stereotyped to be pretty loud people. I would say I follow that pretty well. That. Yeah, definitely very Italian.
So, Val, as a music player, what is, so far, your best memory?
I feel there's a lot of good memories. One of my milestones, I guess, is marching band has been a big part of my life. And so I remember in high school we used to do these marching competitions, and so we went to HOA, and my senior year we actually won for first place, grand champions, and it was great. And that was probably it was a really great experience. It was really a milestone where I was this is awesome. We all worked so hard together to accomplish this, and it was just so cool. But I think everything I do in music is always really, really fun and really, really rewarding. How marching band really builds teamwork, and I think band is such a great thing, because you work with a group, you're all passionate about one thing, you go towards your own goals, you're always working to improve yourself, whether it be musically or as a leader, and I just think music has always done that for me. And it just, even when I got to college, I realized how much more I even love music, and how I've really gotten to do things I'm passionate about with it. With Tau Beta, I get to do service with music, 2 of my favorite things, all into one. And so I really got to spend a lot more time on music. I picked up a music minor, so I just love music. But I think it's all really rewarding. I would encourage everyone to do band, or Tau Beta, that's for sure. Maybe 1 teaspoon of oregano. I'm really good at toast.
Toast is a pretty good meal.
Toast is delicious. So there's that.
I can cook a pretty good cereal usually.
A pretty good cereal? Yeah, I appreciate cereal. Like, I am like so lucky to have like a mother who loves to cook and like siblings that will cook because I'm not gifted. I've tried though. I made eggplant parmesan once. That went well. I ate it for like 2 months though because I thought you needed like 2 to 4 eggplants. For one person, you don't need 2 to 4 eggplants. So I ate it for a long time. The basil leaves.
So why did you join Tau Beta?
Let's see. It was my freshman year, and Jefferson and Jasmine were like actually 2 past presidents of Tau Beta, and they were in my section. And they came up to me and they're like, "Hey, have you ever heard of this thing? It's called Tau Beta." I was like, "No, I have no idea what that is." And they were like, "Well, we kind of just do like service. We help serve the band. We pick up trash. We do all these things. We work in the community. We do service. Like, we really think you should check it out. We think you'd be a good fit for it." And I was like, okay, like I'll check it out, and like looked into it, and I was like, it seems like a pretty cool thing. But I was like, do I have time? I don't know. But I looked more into it. I went to like the social events that they had for recruitment, and I was like, these people are awesome. Like, it's like one of those things where you've gone to something and you're like, these people are my people. Like, I have a place to belong. And that's pretty much what happened. Is we had spaghetti dinner. So I guess this is fitting. But we had our spaghetti dinner event, and we went, and everyone was so friendly. We all had like the same senses of humor, and everyone was so supportive and welcoming that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna join that. And that's probably the best decision I've ever made. And I feel like I made it on a whim because I really did not put that much thought into it. But I was like, no, this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go do it. And then I did, and it was the best. But Jefferson and Jasmine were really the ones to like convince me to do it because they were the ones that were like, you really fit the ideals of Tau Beta. We really think you could make a really good impact at like on the chapter level and just in the district, and like you should really look into it. But I think without them, I might not have done it. So I owe them like a lot because I think that's what's important, is that we're always looking out to like see that in people, because like I guess I didn't really know too much about Tau Beta before that, and I definitely didn't know the ideals of Tau Beta and didn't realize that it really fits everything that I want to do in life. Like, music's my passion and service is my passion combines the two. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought we only served the band, but we also served the community, and I just thought that that was really cool. So like 10 out of 10 would do it again, that's for sure. But I owe so much to like Jefferson and Jasmine for seeing that in me. So like to know that I would be a good fit and that it would be a place that I would like thrive in. So, and this is the 1 teaspoon of basil leaves, by the way. The 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then the only thing that we have left, spice-wise, is the bay leaf. But I'm just gonna wait to throw that in when we kind of get the sauce heating up and everything. See, no queen of the kitchen, like I said. But this means that if I can do it, anyone can do it. So, spaghetti sauce for days. I'm going to put the spice concoction in with the sauce, making sure to get it all out. Some of it's kind of sticking. And I'm gonna stir that in. The key to the sauce, I feel like, is just the stirring and making sure that everything's like heating up evenly and that the spices are distributed evenly within the sauce. What's really cool about this recipe is you can also add, like, if you wanted to add like crushed tomatoes or something, like you can do that. Or some people will add like fresh onion instead of using like the onion powder and things like that. So it's pretty easy to kind of make it your own, and a lot of it's like spicing to taste. This is just what my family usually does. So it's just what I've been taught to do. My mom, actually, when we were growing up and learning how to make this sauce, what she would do is she worked late sometimes because she's a nurse and used to work in a hospital. She would just leave like little Tupperware containers full of the spices with a can next to it. She'd just dump the spices in the sauce and stir. So I think it's actually kind of nice, especially for like maybe that, like if parents work late or something. Like, it's good to know that like young adults can make sauce or like have a dinner and not miss out on that. So it's pretty exciting.
What do you do currently?
I'm currently the Vice President for Service of the Zeta Delta chapter, so lots of planning on the service events things. And then I was just elected the District Secretary Treasurer for the Midwest District, so that's pretty exciting. So I'll have my work cut out for me, but I'm going to do my best. So yeah, I'm lucky to have a chapter who's really passionate about service too, because then I'm not just like forcing service or something, so pretty lucky. We do need to add the bay leaf. Do you want to do the honors?
Of course.
All right. I warn you, I feel like spaghetti sauce is one of those things, like my mom will leave the stovetop and it'll be like splattered with spaghetti sauce, so I just warn you now that that could be the fate.
Okay, Val, so as this is simmering, I feel like now's a good time for a break.
Sure.
So as the sauce is cooking, let's get on to the next step.
All right, the next step is, well,
Here you go.
Kool-Aid doesn't go in the sauce. We're gonna make the pasta. So I'm gonna go over here to the sink and fill up this pot with some water. I usually just fill it about halfway, enough so the water covers the spaghetti when you put it in.
As the service vice president, right?
Yep, that's what I am.
Okay. What has that done, and just any experience you've had in Tau Beta, how has that changed you, or how have you changed it, I guess?
I think Tau Beta is one of the really cool organizations where you grow as a leader and you don't even like realize it. It's just one of those things where you're like so passionate about something that you just want to be a part of it and you want to organize stuff and you want to take action. It's kind of more what I found myself doing. I grew up doing Girl Scouts and getting my bronze and silver award and things like that, so I had a lot of like organizational skills coming into it because you needed it for that. But I felt like here is it really like prepared me, and as I went through like Tau Beta, I realized how I could make it more aimed at music and service. And then I feel like with Tau Beta, like having such a supportive chapter, like all the service events that we've had ideas for were just like taken and people would run with them. Like for instance, like Girl Scouts commonly does like caroling for canned goods, and you'd go around Christmas time and you would like go like house to house and you would sing a song and people would give you canned goods. Well, Tau Beta took it and ran with it, and our chapter came up with the idea of scaroling for canned goods, where we sang like Halloween related songs and went around the neighborhoods, which was pretty fun, but like I wouldn't have thought of that without the chapter, so that was really cool. But I really just feel like Tau Beta just always forms leaders. You really like don't realize how close of a bond you have with your sisters until like you need something and they're the first ones to come and find you. It gives you like a place to belong, and I think that's incredibly important. As like Vice President for Service, I tried really, really hard to live up to the ideals of Tau Beta Sigma and be a good role model for the chapter and things like that. I think that really helps, is I think even just joining into the chapter, when we had those ideals, I realized that like that is the kind of person that I want to be. Like I want to follow those ideals, I want to be that kind of member, I honestly just want to be that kind of person in my life, and Tau Beta brought that to me, and I thought that that was really cool. What was really awesome was my first year we went to Midwest District Convention and I was awarded the Outstanding New Sister Award, and that like was honestly like one of my like highest honors, because I was sitting there and I was like, to think that I'm sitting in a room of all of these like wonderful people who all live to like the ideals and who are all doing their best to like make the world a better place, whether it be music or women in music or anything like that. And I was like, and for them to see that, like think that I'm special, where I'm sitting here thinking that they're all special and they're all awesome and just as deserving, that like spoke to me. I was like, this is like my place to be. And I think that that's pretty cool. I think Tau Beta is just one of those organizations that you just grow as a leader, whether it be like in your character and your leadership style, and I think that's really important for an organization. I was not kidding when I said that there was going to be tomato sauce all over this stovetop by the end of it. I can always learn. Yeah, teach me to cook if you know how to, Kris, because this is what I have.
Right now you are teaching me. So.
That is true.
So, now what are your goals? Like what do you do currently in school, and what do you want to do later on?
Alright, well currently I am an undergraduate in mechanical engineering and I have a music minor. As of right now, I want to go to grad school. I mean, I feel like my life plan like changes on the daily, just because like as you get older, you realize that there's way more things that you can experience, like different ways your life could go. So I want to go to grad school as of right now. I'm probably going to stay at KU is kind of what, if they'll have me, I guess. And I'd really, really like to get a master's in either like material science or mechanical engineering. So I think that would be pretty cool. I would like to work in the field for like a few years because there's a lot you could offer. Like for instance, we found out at Tau Beta District Convention that you can be a Imagineer, which is a Disneyland engineer, which is pretty cool. So I was like, that would be awesome. I don't know if I'm like qualified enough. You had to have 7 years of experience before applying, so there's that. But I was like, that would be awesome. So I want to work in the field, not quite sure what yet. I really like the idea of like security engineering, and I really like automobiles and things like that. But I would eventually like to end up teaching at the university level, because I think that would be really cool to get to like teach engineering to people who are learning it, because I know this struggle and I would like to help them through it, because like I really believe that like if someone wants to be an engineer, they can be. It just might take a little more time than you want to put towards it, but I think it's been a really rewarding experience, and I'd like to help other students get to have that same experience. And I also, sorry, because I forgot my last thing, in relation to Tau Beta, I do want to stay involved, especially with Tau Beta, and like Girl Scouts and organizations like that, because service and music are really important to me. I haven't figured out what I want to do with my music minor yet, but I'm hoping I can do something, because like music's really my favorite thing. What came down to when I came to college is I really wanted to do music ed or engineering, and I had to pick one, because they don't really go hand in hand, unfortunately. So I really, really do love music, and I would love to get to stay involved with that too. I think it's almost there.
I think it is boiling.
Okay. Sweet, let me grab the pasta. I think it's good.
No one really knows pasta.
Yeah, I always let it get a little flimsy and then I'll push it down into the water. So I might be making like way more than we want, way less than we want, but I feel like leftovers are never a bad thing. Yeah, so you can already tell the sauce is getting a little bit thicker because it's been sitting on there a little bit longer. So, looks good to me.
So I feel like as this is cooking, it's time for another break.
That sounds good.
Okay.
What's your go-to meal at Burger King?
Seven Whopperitos.
Who's your favorite president?
Buchanan.
Who's your second favorite president?
Garfield.
If you could swim in the ocean, which ocean would you swim in?
Southern.
What did you dream about last night?
I dreamt about being at the bottleneck at trivia, but instead of trivia, it was a self-help group, and that trivia was actually at Conroy's. And so we were there at the booth, and all of a sudden they started asking our names, and people were starting to talk about their personal demons, and then I felt uncomfortable and left.
Have you ever been stabbed?
No.
Okay, if you ever are to get stabbed, where do you want to be stabbed?
I can't say that.
You played in the band for how many years?
5 years.
How many instruments did you play?
2. Back in the day?
Do you believe in Dracula's?
No.
Have you ever been hit in the head by anything?
Yes.
Have you ever been concussed?
No.
If you could have any professional athlete come to your house and hit you over the head with a bat, who would it be?
Tiger Woods.
If you could have any professional athlete come to your house and hit you over the head with a golf club, who would it be?
Mike Tyson. We're done here?
I think we're done here.
Bye.
So just maybe like a spoonful. Some people like to use like butter or salt to help with it not sticking, but I feel like this is just as easy. It'll work well. Okay, well, it's going okay. Suggestion, buy a pasta serving spoon. Put a fair amount of sauce on it. Yeah, just is a little bit easier. My dad likes to put crushed red pepper on his.
So,
all right, try it out. Sorry if it's hot.
That's kind of the point.
Very true.
You're good. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll tell my grandma. I thought so.
You're living up to the legacy well. So.
She makes homemade pasta,
Oh,
so I
wow.
need to learn how to do that.
that sounds hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It's like, she says it's like a 4-hour long process. And that's not even while it like dries or anything. And then she makes her own meatballs too, and her sauce is like way better than mine. I don't know what she does, but like, I think it's just her touch. 'Cause she's the best. Like, it's always such a treat to get to go to her house. Like her meatballs are delicious. She'll make sausage to go with it. Like very generous.
I'd like to thank my guest Val. I would like to thank Joe here. So thank you for watching Cooking with Kris, and I will see you next time.